Okay, so it's the 7th of November, and basically I decided to do something that I don't normally try doing. So normally what I would do with this release, if you remember, this cassette had a lot of mould on it, the most mould I've ever seen on a cassette before. And normally I would just, get a refund with that. But one, I didn't want to really send this back, I did want a copy of this, and two is the fact is that I did also get it at a really cheap price. So I decided to keep it, and I thought it'll be a good chance to see if I can actually clean the cassettes and get them to a usable condition, because if you remember when I did the Doctor Who cassette restorations that I've done in the past, some of them had maybe a bit of minor mould. I know that one of the John Pertwee interviews definitely had that. So I thought, let's see, what I can do with this one. So here they are. Here's the results of them. And as you can see, I'll just show both sides of them. You can see that the mould is pretty much all gone. So yeah, all the mould is now gone on these, but the way that you do about them might seem a bit odd, but what you do is you wash them. So what I did is I got a jug of water and put the cassette in and just swished it round. Now the water generally, can be cold water or just lukewarm temperature. Just make sure it's not hot. Just make sure it's not hot water. Okay, just like lukewarm or cold, fine. And basically put the cassette in the jug and swish it round a few times. Make sure that all the water gets in there. And what I did is I did that a couple of times, and basically after that it appeared that most of the mould, if not all of it, had vanished, had disappeared. So what I then did is I accelerated it drying off, because what you don't want to do is just leave it to... You can just leave it to dry off if you want, but what I actually did is I put them... And I know what some people are going to say, oh, don't do that, but it worked for me in this case. I just placed them on top of actually that radiator there. I just placed them on top of there, turn them over around every half hour or so to just basically accelerate all of the drying process, because mould is generally caused by basically condensation in these cassettes. So yeah, and after that I basically put them in this boombox, which I don't use for recording or anything, I just use this for playing, but I put them in here and try to do this one-handed, and I basically fast forwarded them all the way to the end, and then also rewound them all the way back to the beginning as well, just before they were completely dry, so when they're still a little bit damp but not completely dry, as this allows it to just lubricate the cassette a bit more and also basically get out any mould. You might have to do this a few times, but after that
Type 70 times capsule.
and yeah, that'll do for that before it gets me a copyright. Hopefully it's not anything more, but yeah, it's literally simple little things like that. And now these cassettes are, well, nearly as good as new. Not completely perfect. This box, I'm going to have to do something with this box because it is still basically all scratched up and that. I think this is either going to need to be polished or something like that, but yeah, overall, for what was at one point something, well, that it wouldn't be unplayable. You could probably still play it, but it would be very muffled, and also it would not do your cassette deck any good. Now, yeah, it's back to basically just being another cassette that I can put on the shelf and happily play. So, yeah, there we go. Alright, so it's the 14th of February, that's the one. I'm filming this one in the kitchen actually with a white light above, but it's at a different refresh rate to the camera, the camera's at 60 Hz and the light is at 50, so that's why there's if you see a bit of a flicker, that's why. I'm just doing this temporarily. So you might remember I got this coin made out of stainless steel. You can see out there. But I had a chat with the guy and through Facebook Messenger, and I had a couple of copper ones made. So yeah, here's the copper one. In fact, if I put the light on my phone, there we go. You can really see it there. And the thing is, these are literally pennies. You can see there the remains of the Queen's head on that side, but yeah. And these are basically more accurate to how they would have been. They're a bit weightier, although to be honest, I think I prefer the stainless steel one just because it looks a little bit nicer. It does look a bit nicer, although it is a bit lighter, a bit... I don't know if it's any... No, it's not any thinner, but the copper ones are a bit weightier, and I got two of them. You can see the remain what was once a penny on there. So yeah, but these, it was actually cheaper, but these actually only cost me, I think these were, yeah, I think this was £4 or possibly £4.50 to get both of these done and posted, which is cheaper than this was through eBay, because obviously since I did it you know, just directly through PayPal. Yeah, you can also see here none of them are, if I adjust this, you can see here none of them are quite flat. Unfortunately, none of them are quite flat there, so yeah, I probably will try and flatten them out a little bit at some point. But apparently the machine itself, you can actually go and have your own coins and that pressed for 50p if you go to the machine itself, which is apparently in a chip shop just outside of Blackpool. So yeah, if you go there, then if you manage to find it, then there you go. But yeah, it's just not nice to have them. I don't think I'll get any more of them. I don't know. If he ever does ones in like silver, like, I guess he might be able to do one in, well, a 5p would be a bit too small, and possibly a 10p be obviously slightly too big, but maybe a 10p. If he ever does one in like silver coins like that, then maybe. But yeah, for the moment I'm happy with that, and yeah, happy days, so hooray. Okay, so it's the 15th of March, and I finally got this it's having a bit of a struggle there. Doctor Who: The White Witch of Devil's End on Blu-ray. I already have the DVD. The DVD version includes something that this doesn't. This is just The White Witch of Devil's End. However, if you buy the DVD, which I have, you also get Return to Devil's End, which was made back in the 90s with John Pertwee. So yeah, now this is currently out of stock on most websites, apart from the manufacturer's website, and it was ironically cheaper there. It was only, I think, £12 with free delivery. In fact, that's it. Yeah, Time Travel TV is where I bought it from, and they've been responsible for basically all of these. So yeah, I think this is pretty much out of print now, so whatever copies are left are basically what is left. I'm trying to find, have I got anything here to try and open this? It's coming there, it's coming. There we go. So this has a reversible cover. The disc itself. And I think, yeah. So if I just take this out, so we can have a look. So there's the reverse. So yeah, I remember there was a vote on what the inside cover would look like, and these were the two that won. I think one of the other colours was orange. I can't remember what the other colour was. The DVD is red, and I think the red looks the best. But out of the two, yeah, I think the green suits it better. But the red is my favourite, which is on the DVD. So yeah, but it does mean that basically if you have this on DVD and you want to get the Blu-ray, you still have to keep your DVD because of the content. Basically, this is just the HD content and nothing else. So yeah, I think I do like White Witch of Devil's End. There you go. There's the disc. I do like it. I will say, though, it is like with a lot of these basically real-time productions, I think they probably would work better as a big finish, because they are literally a big finish, but rather than, you know, just listening to the audio, it literally gets someone in front of you. This is basically talking heads, essentially, which I think works better for this one than it did for the Sill and the Deadly, what was it, the Deadly Seeds. But anyway, I was in WH Smith the other day, and I picked up this, because this was reduced to £4. Its retail price was actually £20, but yeah, this is the Doctor Who Secret Lives of Monsters. So yeah, this was obviously released during the Capaldi era. I can't remember what year, but yeah, for £4 for this, you know, pretty thick hardback book. Yeah, and I mainly looked at it, and it obviously it reminded me a lot of the Doctor Who Monsters books from the past. So that's the reason why I picked it up. Because to be honest, for example, I haven't picked up the Doctor Who annual since the Capaldi era or anything like that. So yeah, this I did quite like, and I thought for £4, yeah, £4, pretty good deal for that. So yeah, there we go, people. Okay, so this section I'm gonna have to talk over and dub over, and the reason is because for some reason the audio didn't record. It might be because maybe the microphone wasn't properly plugged in. I don't know. I just generally leave it plugged in all the time. But yeah, so from the charity shop today, on the day of recording this, I got some Doctor Who annuals, and you can see this one is the main one that caught my eye. They were in the window. So this one's from 1975. Now, these ones, that one was probably the rarest out of them. Again, you can find them on eBay for not that much money, but yeah, and here's the Doctor Who annual from still the 75 one, front and back. They've got that, yeah, old sort of book smell to them, but they were in really good condition as well. They were in excellent condition, and this one even had in it a happy birthday card in it, which interestingly was from the late-ish Tom Baker era. So yeah, in fact, yeah, that's clearly City of Death there. So interesting that was in there and just left in there. But yeah, that book was $6.99, which is a bit much for a charity shop, to be honest. Like $6.99 for an annual, you know, in a charity shop is just like, But the thing is, that was the reduced price, because apparently I was told those annuals when they first, because you'll see in a minute, there's a few books there. We're just having a look at the artwork in there, which does look absolutely fantastic books. Initially, when they tried to sell them, they tried to sell, no joke, the annuals for £30 each. £30 each for these Doctor Who annuals, because reasons, I don't know, maybe they thought it, I mean, they clearly thought it was worth it, but come on, just like, you know, charity shops, just like, you know, there's just being extortionate, you know, I mean, seriously, just like, what the fuck? But again, it kind of just varies from charity shop to charity shop. There's me talking about the $6.99 sticker there, and I have bought multiple ones here, as I I'm about to show you. So this one's from 1979. And I asked them, is there a deal I can do? Because they did have more than the ones I'm about to show you. I think I only bought 3 in total. And they had, I think they had 6 that in total that I didn't have. And I said, look, if I bought all 6, you know, can we do some sort of deal? And said, no, 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 absolutely not. So, yeah, I said, you know, if I buy all of them, can I do some sort of deal? And they went, no, absolutely not. So, yeah, it's just like, but they didn't last very long. They didn't last very long because I think literally hours later, when I went past, like a couple of hours later, I noticed a couple more sold, and a few days later when I went by, they'd all just gone. So clearly they did sell. But yeah, not that cheap really. And here we go, The Amazing World of Doctor Who. So yeah, not strictly an annual, but still really nice book. I think the main thing about these is just like the artwork. The artwork looks, as you can see, it's really strange and weird. But I think really, for me at least, that's the appeal of them. They're just so, you know, much of an oddity that you don't really consider. But yeah, and just looking at some of the pictures in there, that was, I think I was saying at the time that clearly the pictures in there, you know, don't have the restoration that they do now. You don't have any HD scans or anything like that, so a lot of the pictures are very grainy or blurry and stuff like that, and then you get some, quite frankly, just bizarre artwork. If you can hear a bit of a wind in the background, I've got the window on because it is weirdly far too hot today, so yeah, that's what you hear. But yeah, they were $6.99 each. Interesting, they had the Dalek annuals as well, and their reduced price was, I think it was something like $12.99 for the 1978 and 1979 Dalek annuals, which they had there. Fortunately, I already own them. In fact, I got them a couple of years ago, if you remember, on eBay for much cheaper than that. So yeah, it's just a bit weird on how bloody expensive they are. But you know, if you do like any of their annuals, generally all the annuals are on the DVD, on some of the DVDs, but they are also put on the Blu-ray box sets. For example, the season 10 box set, the Planet of the Daleks disc, does have that annual. I can't remember if the DVD did or not, but that annual and that is definitely on there. So yeah, you can just get them digitally as PDFs, or even find them online pretty easy as PDFs.
Okay, so